This is the law of the Yukon, that only the strong shall thrive, that surely the weak shall perish, and only the fit survive. These words were written nearly a century ago, and they ring as true today as they did when Robert Service settled on them to describe the perils of the North. As Will and I had prepared for our adventure, they leapt from the page in warning, reminding us of the challenge embraced by all who choose to come here. As we finally laid eyes on the timeless wilds below the floats of the plain, the law of the Yukon forced its way back into our consciousness. I wait for the men who will win me, and I will not be one in a day. Suddenly, it was real.
I introduced Aaron to paddling, and he introduced me to hunting. Together, as we explored every corner of our county, its vastness shrank, and our desire for adventure grew. We yearned for something boundless, a true wilderness. Despite a divergence in our lives, distance hasn't eroded the friendship Aaron and I shared. We have longed for a foray into wilds such as these, to put ourselves and our friendship to the test. For years, we have made plans, only to watch them fall through. But this time, everything was different.
Our refusal to defer this adventure came as a result of the untimely death of our close friend, Andrew Brose. We had grown up together, with him a few years older, and my path in life mirrored his very closely. And then, it was over. Will, Brose, and I had cooked up our share of plans over the years, but none ever came to fruition. When he passed, Will and I made a promise to each other to bring Andrew with us to the north and share with him our great adventure. Despite the peril that lay between us and civilization, we embraced the danger, knowing that if ever there was a chance worth taking, this was it.
The risk we have taken in being here is far from a blind one. If we are smart and safe, the odds are low that something will go wrong. If it does, however, the consequences are bigger here than anywhere else. Uncharted whitewater, hungry grizzlies, and the harsh fall elements could all capitalize on our mistakes. Without a guide, we are choosing to rely on ourselves to avoid danger and to survive when it comes knocking.
There is truly no better feeling than the thrill of the chase. It was Will's first big game hunt and my first time hunting moose. While the experience was new, I was reminded of my love for the hunt. There had always been a divide in my hunting passion. Would I rather hunt birds and enjoy the calling and communication waterfowl and turkeys offer? Or would I rather the massive adrenaline rush of big game encounters? As the bull worked to destroy every bit of plant life in the meadow, I found those two worlds colliding. Having challenged him with grunts and bladecraft, he was set on defeating his rival. I hoped that Will could turn the tables.
My leg is shaking. I can't control that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless right now. Honestly,
I can't believe it
I've been
worked.
dreaming about that. Like, I literally last night in the tent just had like dreams on repeat of like that moment in your head. Like, okay, when it happens, like how is it gonna happen? Like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna react? And like, how am I gonna feel? And I feel amazing right now. I feel unreal.
It felt like waking from a dream. Reflecting back on the shot, I remember absolutely nothing passing through my consciousness except the brown and silver of the moose and the crosshairs of my scope. Any previous thoughts I had quickly turned to actions controlled by an ancestral intuition that cannot be explained, only reveled in. As the trance of the hunt lifted, I was in disbelief that we'd done it, and I worked to make sense of the flood of thoughts that entered my mind. Distilling these, there is one common thread that I found led me to this point: the character of Aaron.
This is Christmas dinner.
And his unparalleled determination and passion as a hunter. From him, I've learned to guide my actions with true intention and purpose, and to leave the rest in the hands of Mother Nature. All we can do is take a chance.
As darkness fell, we faced a decision. Make camp at the kill site and risk a grizzly encounter, or carry on downriver in the fading light. As we left shore, the bank steepened, and the roar of the whitewater grew louder.
So we just took a break here because we're coming around the corner and it looks a little frothier, and the hardshell canoe, not the friendliest with rocks, so we're just kind of stopping and scouting and seeing if we can camp before the rapids. Everything at night is just like 10 times more intense and a little more scary.
Here in the forest where I chance to roam, as an old man walking the forest alone. In the days of my youth I walked here with you, with jackknives and matches and the knowledge that nothing would change.
The North is jealous. When you are there, you are nowhere else. Life, as it should be, is lived in the moment. Presence like this is rare. With Brose's passing, we were reminded of the fragility of tomorrow. We were in the Yukon to hunt moose, but what we harvested was the here and now.
All too often, we set expectations for ourselves and measure our success by them. Hidden in every moment of every day, there is opportunity, and it is up to us to make the most of it. We must endure the hardships and relish the celebrations, no matter how big or small they are. When we let go of our expectations and ask for nothing, we receive everything.
Who could tell when we walked here as boys in the wood that time's heartless sands would trickle away?
It's impossible.
As the knotted tree towers high in the glade, holding my memory in its maples and shade, holding my memory in the maple shade.
In deciding to come here, we had chosen a stretch of river we were confident we would have to ourselves, and now we would have to pay the price for our solitude. I was scared. The rapid was more vicious than anything we'd expected to encounter, and it was clear our gear-laden canoe was ill-suited to challenge the icy waves. Our only option was to rely on each other. As we loaded the boat and pulled into the current, there was no other requisite than courage.
Exhausted from the battle with the whitewater and shivering in the cold of the snow, we finally found Aaron's bull. With 2 cows, we knew we had to challenge him. And it worked. Less than 10 yards away, he appeared, looking to fight. Eyeing his sharp antlers and massive physical presence, I felt paralyzed by a shockwave of adrenaline rushing through my body. I looked to Aaron and found him with his gaze focused on the bull. There would be no discussion and no backing down. I've never seen an animal taken with a bow, and I seriously began to question how effective it would be against the largest big game species on the continent. With mere yards between us and a cliff behind us, we would not be able to escape a charge. It felt like time stopped. With Aaron at full draw, having no shot available, I could see the tremble in his grip, but I knew he would fight it. He had no choice.
A life, in its entirety, is nothing more than a collection of moments. Hardships, celebrations, losses and victories. They are the slides we dust off and look at to reflect on who we are. Kneeling in the snow, no longer shivering, marveling at our good fortune and knowing what brought us here. This is who I am. We'd killed 2 moose, but the map warned us of a canyon downstream. It had taken 8 tough days of hunting to find our moose, and while I was proud of the harvest, I acknowledged, like any good hunter, that luck had played its part. As the roar of the rapids grew louder, I was thankful for Will and his experience. Resolute and capable, it would be up to him to navigate our way safely home. Luck wouldn't save us now.
Scouting this rapid, I can't help but question our ability to make it through the torrent of whitewater unscathed. With an open boat, fully loaded with our gear and moose meat, we lack the maneuverability that will allow us to avoid hazards. Here in the icy water and freezing temperatures, we must protect ourselves and our gear. If we find ourselves without a boat, we're in trouble. The rapids are no longer just zigzag lines on a map that offered no interpretation of their severity. It is now quite clear that this river will have dire consequences should we make a mistake. At the end of the day, regardless of what we do, our fate is still decided by factors outside of our control. What we do control, and perhaps what is most important, is whether we succumb as victims of circumstance or triumph as the benefactors. Coming here, we knew what we were in for. The promise of opportunity brought us, and we thrived in the solitude the river ran through. We'd succeeded, each killing a moose, and despite swimming the rapids, we arrived completely unscathed. While we celebrated, we realized that the biggest accomplishment was simply in coming here. It is easy to say no and find excuses not to go. We had the good fortune of an opportunity that we refused to defer, and we didn't wait for convenience. We honored our friendship, embraced the risk, and with each paddle stroke, wrote the story we will tell for the rest of our lives.
Will and I had made it, but it had not been alone. The river had guided us, challenged us, and brought us an experience that surpassed our wildest dreams. Our friendship had been strengthened, our trust in each other rewarded. After Andrew passed, his parents gave us a shotgun shell loaded with his ashes. They asked us to take him somewhere special and celebrate his life. As the sun brought warmth to the final morning of our journey, we shared one last moment with our friend. He had brought us here, and part of us would stay. With him, in the wilds around us, in this place beyond the roar.
It's been some time since you were around, and we walked with you on the valley ground. Those wildcat days we sure could roar. The pride of the past won't gather much more. We're out in the wild, out on our own, finding ourselves.
Thanks for the help, Willis. Looked like you dropped something.
Slap the maple syrup on, let's go.
It's so big. It's literally a mountain.
That's bigger than a smart car.
Couple stakes behind me there, just got her propped up.
I don't even know if there's a name for rain hoops.
I'll take the Grayling combo with a side of Grayling. Oh, here we go. Yep, here we go.
I'm Matt White, and this is DIT in the Wild.
What comes after Ann?
The part where this is how you ruined it.
Do I have blood on my face? And I'm cold and I'm tired. And all the equipment's tired, and some of it's broken, and some of it's been drowned.
And we roam free across these lands with open hearts and working hands. And so we do all that we can with open hearts and working hands. Open hearts and working hands.